Hi there, Working Homeschool Moms. This is Charlotte from Charlotte Jones 24/7 and My Little Homeschool. And this is episode number 106 of the Strike a Balance podcast for Working Homeschool Moms. And if we haven't met, I'm a Working Homeschool Mom coach. I help new Working Homeschool Moms figure out the messy beginning so that they can take their first steps with confidence. This week, I'm going to be talking about time anxiety. As working homeschool moms, I know how important time is for you, for me, for all of us. Time is our most valuable asset. And as working homeschool moms, we really have to make the most of every second. But at the same time, it can very easily cause us a lot of anxiety. It can make us feel like there isn't enough time, that there aren't enough hours in the day to get everything done. So in the episode today, I'm going to be talking about what time anxiety is, what causes it, and then some ways to manage it as a working homeschool mom. But before we get to the episode, I'd be ever so grateful if you could rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast, or you could forward the podcast to another working homeschool mom who also needs some help with overcoming time anxiety or who wants to know how to manage her time better. Thank you so much and enjoy the episode. Hi there, and welcome to the Strike a Balance podcast for working homeschool moms. This is Charlotte Jones. I'm your host, and I am a podcaster, a speaker, a writer, and a homeschooling coach, specifically for working homeschool moms. I've been homeschooling my neurodivergent twin boys since 2017, and I've been a working homeschool mom since 2017. So I know it can feel really overwhelming to keep all the balls in the air all the time. So each week I chat about tips and strategies for being a happy and thriving working homeschool mom. I cover things like time management, homeschooling, mindset, and lots of other juicy topics like that. I also speak to awesome and inspiring women who manage to juggle homeschooling and work successfully and find out what their secrets are. And I also welcome experts who can help you on your working homeschool mom journey. I have lots of ways to support you, so be sure to check them out in the show notes. You can download my time audit as your first step to managing your time better. I have a Facebook group for working homeschool moms that you can join as well. And be sure to sign up to my newsletter for weekly updates. And if you need additional support, you can join the WHM Collective, which is a supportive community of working homeschool moms where we delve deeper into topics that are going to help you thrive as a working homeschool mom. Or if you need one-to-one support, be sure to book in a session with me. I'm so excited for you to be here, and I know you'll get so much value out of this episode. So let's get started. Working homeschool mom, I know how overwhelming it can be to choose a math curriculum for your homeschool. That's why I'd like to tell you about the online math curriculum we've been using for years, ctcmath.com. As far as math curriculums go, it has loads of great features that solve lots of the math issues we've had, and I know a lot of homeschooling families have. Here are just a few of the many features that we really like. Questions are adaptive, which means the interactive questions change in difficulty depending on the student's ability. The program uses a smart algorithm that tracks the student's progress and delivers questions based on their exact needs. The student doesn't even know this is happening, helping them to build confidence and master math concepts. Concepts are delivered through video tutorials and summaries, which are clear, complete, and easy to follow. It's like having your very own teacher. This ensures your children understand something before they're asked to practice it. And then for us parents, CTC Math has extensive reports which are so valuable in monitoring your child's progress and spotting any gaps. And they offer a 12-month money-back guarantee if this curriculum is not for you and your family. CTC will provide a full refund, no questions asked. But I think the most important thing is a whole lot less stress when it's math time for both parents and kids. You get to outsource math with confidence, and your kids get a fantastic tailor-made program that makes learning and mastering math enjoyable and positive. Visit CTC Math today to start your free trial. CTC Math is also offering you, listener, an amazing special. When you go to ctcmath.com/MLH, you can get a half price discount plus a bonus 6 months for free. That's ctcmath.com/MLH. Time anxiety and the working homeschool mom. Time is our most valuable asset, and as working homeschool moms, we need to make sure that we make the most of every second because there are a lot of things that we have to do on any given day. But did you know that time anxiety can actually have a major effect on how you see and use the time you have? So today I'm going to be digging deeper into what time anxiety is and also what causes it. And then I'm going to give you some ideas on how to manage it so that you can make the most of the precious time that you have. Let's start by answering the question, what is time anxiety? So, according to a post on Psych Central, time anxiety is when you feel like there's never enough time and like you are not using your time wisely. Does this sound familiar? In my experience, so many working homeschool moms have negative feelings around time. Time management and getting things done is a huge worry that new and experienced working homeschool moms face. So, how can anxiety around time actually show up in your life? A post on Healthline gives some ideas of how time anxiety could manifest. Firstly, stressing about being late. Granted, very few people like being late, but if tardiness causes you anxiety, then it could be related to time anxiety. Secondly, rushing around from place to place. Yes, of course, sometimes we do need to rush to get somewhere, but if you're constantly rushing, sometimes when you don't need to rush, then it could also be a sign of time anxiety. Thirdly, feeling anxious when your to-do list isn't done. Setting goals and knowing what needs to be done are both great practices. It helps you to be organized, helps you to manage your time better, to have a more structured day. But when your anxiety spikes because of not doing the goals that you have set or you're not completing your to-do list, time anxiety could also be the cause. Only seeing missed opportunities and not what you've achieved. I think it's normal to have regrets about what could have been if we'd done things differently. But if you're feeling like you haven't reached any significant life goals, then you could have time anxiety to thank for this. And finally, analysis paralysis. When you strive for perfection, it can lead you to spending too much time on details and not actually getting anything done. Once again, time anxiety could be the cause. Let's look at what actually causes time anxiety. So, feeling anxious about time is not actually recognized as a specific disorder, according to Health News, but it has been linked to general anxiety disorder, which 1 in 6 adults is affected by. So, that is a lot of the population of any given country is affected by general anxiety disorder. Psychology Today says the causes of general anxiety disorder or GAD could include any of the following: family history, genetics, experiencing stress for a long period of time, trauma in childhood. There could even be medical causes. These might sound extreme, but the more I move through the world, the more people I meet, the more people I interact with, the more I come across people who have had adversity in their lives in some way or another. And this trauma can manifest in so many different ways. Time anxiety being one of them. Being alive in this world is hard, and very few of us are unaffected by the human condition. Let's now look at some strategies to cope with time anxiety. Now that I've told you about the whys and wherefores of anxiety around time, let's look at how you as a working homeschool mom can cope. I want to give you some ideas for how you can become a master of time and use it more purposefully and effectively, and most importantly, joyfully. Choosing therapy has some great ideas that you can adapt as a working homeschool mom. So, firstly, if time anxiety is crippling you and you cannot function day to day, you need to seek professional help. If you have the means to get therapy, then it's definitely the first prize for dealing with GAD. A therapist can give you personalized strategies and coping techniques. They will also be able to get to the root of what causes your anxiety. And obviously, if medication is needed, they could also prescribe something to help you deal with it. Even though we speak about mental health so much more freely now, I know it can be hard to admit you need help. Some ways to overcome this could be to find a friend who has experience with therapy so that they can talk you through the process and set your mind at ease. I also have a really awesome YouTube video where mental health professionals debunk common myths. I find it so helpful when it comes to things related to mental health, and I will link that in the show notes. The next thing to do is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness has so many benefits, and also for a busy working homeschool mom like you. It may seem counterintuitive to take time out of your busy day to just be, but science has proven that it really helps you when you take a breath, ground yourself, and get back into your body and the present moment. So when you're present in the moment, which is obviously the result of practicing mindfulness, you can concentrate on what you're doing, So it means that you can use your time more effectively in that way. You can see more clearly about what needs to be done. You can manage feelings of anxiety as well. Deep breaths are so good for that. You can feel gratitude for your current life, and you can enjoy your life where you are right now. I wrote a post a while ago about living on autopilot, and I will link that in the show notes as well. In order to overcome time anxiety, you need to prioritize self-care. And I bet you're not surprised that I mentioned prioritizing self-care. Much like mindfulness, self-care can help with feeling more relaxed, present, and joyful in your life. As a working homeschool mom, you need to manage your time so that there is enough time to prioritize yourself. It is kind of a chicken and an egg situation. I know it can feel overwhelming to start, but I always recommend starting really, really small. What's one tiny thing you can do today? 5 minutes of deep breathing or listening to your favorite song can go a long way to shifting your mood. If you want to hear me talking more about prioritizing self-care, then be sure to head over to the free virtual event I'm taking part in, the second Neurodiverse Homeschooling Summit, where I talk about making self-care a reality for working homeschooling parents. And I'll leave that link in the show notes as well. Lastly, in order to overcome time anxiety, you need to live your values. Whenever someone asks me about managing time effectively, I tell them to figure out what's really important and then to make sure that they're doing more of that. When you feel that your life has meaning, that you're saying yes to what lights you up, that you're setting healthy boundaries, you're doing what you want to do, and you're the captain of your own ship, then you can feel like you're managing your time well. And this is a good way to overcome time anxiety. You'll feel like you're living a meaningful life. Final thoughts on dealing with time anxiety. As with many issues and problems and anxieties in life, awareness is often the first step. Once you know that you need help, you can start digging deeper and then you can find a solution. If your anxiety makes your day-to-day life difficult to live, then be sure to seek professional help. But if you're looking for some strategies in your working homeschool mom life to feel like you're using your time as effectively as possible, be sure to reach out. Together, we can find a way forward. I really hope you enjoyed the episode. Please let me know what your greatest takeaway was. You can reach out to me on Instagram at charlottejones247 or on my website at mylittlehomeschool.com, or you could even drop me an email at hello@mylittlehomeschool.com. I'd be ever so grateful if you could rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast. It will help spread the news about being a working homeschool mom, and in that way we can build this wonderful supportive community together. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time, take care.